Honestly, sometimes I just want to beat people.
Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jordan, and if you don't know me, I make videos about my life, and I make videos about all things APRAXIA. Now, I'm here with my sister, Lindsay. Say hi.
Hey guys.
And we have an 8-year age difference, which is a good amount of time. Today, we are going to be talking about how her growing up with a sibling with verbal APRAXIA, affected her. And I'm actually really hyped for this conversation because this isn't really like a conversation that you would just really have, because it's kind of more of a topic that you're not just going to casually bring up like, oh, let's like talk about like our like childhood. So before we get into the video, if you are new here, make sure to click that little subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up so you can get more content from me. And let's get into the video. Are you older or are you younger than me?
I'm older by 8 years.
Yeah. And would you say that there was any type of conflict between us, any bad blood, anything like that?
Honestly, not at all. I don't think so. We were always like super close growing up, so we never really argued. So
yeah, like she like was like one of my closest siblings, so she like would really be like one that I would like come to. Like I just would like come back to your room and stuff.
Yeah, and we would talk and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, there was no type of conflict at all.
No.
Wednesday, say hi. It is videotape.
Oh, hey. I thought y'all was taking pictures.
How bad, as usual. The end.
Okay, so when I was younger and when I like really couldn't be understood by most people, did you for the most part understood me?
I always did. I don't know. I feel like me and my family, we always kind of understood him, but we took the time to like understood him, and because we were around him all the time, we knew what he was trying to say. So
yeah, because I mean, y'all were with me for like my entire life. Like y'all like lived in the same house, so like you like adjusted to it. Like,
and how did you cope with not always being understood?
I really don't know how I coped, if I'm just being real, because I would either kind of shut down in a sense. So I would more so be like the type, if someone did not really get what I was trying to say, if I could fully express what I wanted to say, it was kind of like in this sense that I would give up or maybe turn to my family member, because they were like very good at like always like being proactive about my needs, about being proactive about what I wanted. So do you feel like I got away with more stuff because of the fact that I did have these differences with my talking and I needed more quote unquote attention than probably like you and my brother did?
I don't feel like he got away with more, but he did get like certain privileges that we did or I didn't get, but I'm the oldest, so
Like what?
like a cell phone. He got a cell phone whenever he was 8 years old, and I was literally like,
she was like actually like mad. Like I'm not even trying to like front. Like this is all script. Like she was like completely like, Jordan, like what? Like,
well, it was like I had to wait till I was 16 or 17 before I got a cell phone. But here he is, 8 years old, getting a cell phone.
yeah.
So like, that type of stuff. But like as far as like favored attention and stuff like that, like I never felt like that. But I did feel like he got certain privileges,
Yeah.
like a cell phone at 8
Yeah.
years old. Another reason the speech therapist thought it would be a good idea to have a phone is because that way, if he was somewhere and they couldn't understand what he was saying, he could call one of us or call my mom, and like he could tell them, and they could relay. My mom could relay what was actually being said on the phone. So he was never like in a situation where he was like not understood at all, or he in a dangerous situation or anything like that.
Yeah, so like that's like really important to take note of.
Yeah.
Too. It was to serve a purpose, but in my mind at this age, I just was like, ooh, I'm cool. I have a phone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's when I was like younger and I had to be in all of these like waiting rooms and such. Like, did you ever feel like I don't want to be here, I want to go home, I want to play with my Barbies, blah blah blah? Like, did you ever feel that way? Did you ever cry?
I never cried or anything like that, but I do think it might have been because of the 8-year age difference. So like I kind of knew like we needed to be there for him, and like and plus he had like health problems on top of that, so we were always like in a waiting room or a doctor's office or somewhere like that waiting. But I never cried. I just kind of sat there and looked over magazines at 8 years old. So I mean, sure, I wanted to be home, you know, but I think because I was older, I kind of understood. Had I been younger, it probably would have been a different story.
Okay, so did you ever feel like our parents like maybe like favored me more versus you or anything like that, like any favoritism?
I don't think so.
No?
Not at all. Like that never really crossed my mind. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we knew that he needed more. You know what I'm saying? So like it was never, oh, he's being favored. It was like, well, he needs more than like I need.
Okay, so with like your like friends at this age and like different people who like would be around us and like they would like notice maybe that I had like a speech difference, like how did you tell them that? Like how did you approach that? Like in a sense.
Well, like if people asked, I would always explain to them that he had a speech disorder and that he knew what he wanted to say. It just sometimes didn't come out right. But not a lot of people asked, to be honest, because he didn't really talk a lot. So, and people would just kind of like blow it off like, oh, he's shy and this and that, like not knowing that, you know, it was because he had APRAXIA. So I know we really didn't get a lot of questions. Like if we were out in public, it was more so kids sometimes, but he didn't really talk a lot. So
it's with me having APRAXIA at this age. I just was more so. I didn't want to struggle with talking, but I did. So I would just really. It's like this type of like mutism in a sense. Like I would have these people who I would talk to because they would take more time, and they knew that I had a speech problem, and they knew that like they would have to take time versus other people they did not know. Most people don't want to take the time because we live in such a world that's like a fast-paced world. So it's on like the same like topic of like interacting with like strangers and stuff. Did you ever feel the need to like protect me?
Yes. Not only like he was the baby of the family too, but on top of that, because he had the APRAXIA, you did feel the need to protect. And kids are just mean. Like they really are. They're so mean. And people don't know how to deal with things they don't understand. And honestly, sometimes I just wanted to beat people up. I really just wanted to beat people up because people are so mean.
Yeah.
And I did feel the need to like protect him and like keep him safe and shielded. So
Yeah, because kids were mean.
they're very mean.
I'm sure that maybe I came home at times and you could tell that maybe I wasn't like in the brightest mode or wasn't as happy. You probably were like, are kids being mean or just happening?
Yeah, there were a lot of times whenever he would come home from school and you could tell that something had happened at school, that something, he was obviously upset about something, but trying to get him to talk about what he was upset about was hard because there were a lot of things that went on in school that like he didn't tell us about and like we didn't find out till recently. I mean, he would tell us some things, but a lot of it he didn't. And you could kind of pick up whenever he came home from school, like that something was wrong or something had happened.
So, did it change like the way that you felt about me when we were younger?
I think so. I would say it made us closer, honestly. Not saying like if he didn't have APRAXIA that we wouldn't be close.
Yeah.
But I feel like because he did have that, that it made us super close. And we've always been close. And I think that whenever you go through things with people, like the strongest relationships are relationships where you've been through a lot with somebody. And I feel like because we did go through that together, that it just made us a lot closer. So if anything, like that's how I feel like it changed.
Yeah. What is your advice for siblings who have a brother or a sister with verbal apraxia?
I would say to be patient and to listen. Take the time to listen. And just be there to encourage them and support them and listen to them. And because they're going to go through a lot. So just like being there and like parents, simple things that you can do to like just make your kid's life easier at school. Like my mom, whenever Jordan was in elementary school, she talked to the people in the cafeteria about like, so they would memorize his lunch number. So like just to make his life easier whenever he came through the line in the school lunch room. Just simple things that you can do to like make your kid's life easier. Be an advocate for your child. My mom was like the best at this, and there were so many times when I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
I gotta get myself together. My mom really advocated for him, and she met with school. She was always meeting with like school board members and principals and teachers, and just always like standing up for him. And whenever you have a child, you have to do that, like because they'll fall in between the cracks if you don't. And like no one knew what APRAXIA was, like at his school, like no one had ever even heard of it, like and she had to like had to meet with all these different people and say, you know, they would tell her, oh well, this can't be done, and she would say, well, it's gonna be done. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be taken care of, he's gonna get the best care. And she was just really good at that. It was like she was made for this, you know? So just being a strong advocate for your kid and making sure that like you're gonna have to be in some uncomfortable situations, talking to people and telling them like what your child's gonna get. And to just being a good advocate for your kid, and as a sibling doing the same thing.
Okay, so that wraps up today's video. I will be leaving my social media links in the description down below, as well as APRAXIA Kids. If you don't know what APRAXIA Kids are, APRAXIA Kids is a non-profit organization that helps young people with APRAXIA. So I really encourage you to check them out as well. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.